important. But as I mentioned, every president is interested in leaving a legacy behind. President John F. Kennedy has left a legacy. George Bush has a legacy. So what will be President Barack Obama's legacy? Think about it with so much negativity stacked up against Barack Obama. But I can tell you, our President Barack Obama, after John F. Kennedy, is the first American president. I repeat it, he is the first American president whose heart beats for poor Americans. Standing here in India, you may wonder, what is this misnomer, poor American? Is there an English word called poor American? Let me assure you, my elite audience, there is a thing called poor American. 15% of Americans are poor Americans. I am not one of those. I am one of those affluent Americans. But just like President Barack Obama, our heart beats for poor Americans. We care for them. That is why we voted for Barack Obama. We didn't vote for Barack Obama because he's an elegant speaker, ultimate vocabulary, a big showman, the best hairstyle in the world, and one who wears the best suits. No. We elected Barack Obama to serve poor Americans. That is the big difference. The last American who had that thought was John F. Kennedy. After that, it is Barack Obama. So what is going to be his legacy? Legacy of Barack Obama is going to be healthcare. And this is one of the reasons doctors and surgeons like me in the United States went to business school. I was 50 years old. I took a sabbatical. I went to business school. Why would a heart surgeon go to business school? You may wonder. Because healthcare is a pulsatile part of the economy. Doctors do not know economics. Doctors are very good at doing operations that I did for 20 years. We are not good at balance sheet. But doctors in America now want to play a much more dominant role. Barack Obama encourages that. He wants someone with clinical sense, financial knowledge, and do merger acquisitions of billions of dollars. Believe me, as an American, let me tell you, I am not afraid of numbers. I can handle an acquisition merger of $2 billion hospitals without leaving a single dollar on the table. That is called a successful acquisition and a merger. But how does a doctor like me know that? You have to go through business education, and which is what I did. So this is the American case scenario. 15% of Americans, as I mentioned, are poor. They are uninsured or they are underinsured. Remember, in America, if you don't have insurance and you go to a hospital, unlike wonderful friend, CEO, Dr. Disa from Saifi Hospital, he will still welcome you in Saifi Hospital and take care of you. Unfortunately, there is no Dr. Disa in America. That is only in India. They will first ask you for your insurance card, they will ensure for your financial payment, and then they will ask you, let me know where it is hurting. This is the fact of America. Can you imagine a population of 314 million with 15% under or non-insured? Who will take care of these Americans? That is why President Barack Obama proposed the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. He wanted to reduce the financial burden of America. He wanted to start healthcare exchanges. America has 50 states with healthcare exchanges where poor people can go and get an healthcare insurance. Everybody does not have a Harvard Pilgrim insurance card like I do. But this is what Barack Obama, mandatory employer-provided insurance is going to be offered. So employer who employs more than 50 Americans will be punished if he does not provide insurance to his. And more important, he wants to focus on preventive health care as opposed to expensive therapeutic care. As a cardiac surgeon, let me tell you, therapeutic care is bypass surgery, stent, angioplasty. But what about heart patients if you can better offer them preventive cardiology? You know, mapping of their genome, taking a buccal swab and identifying who is prone to stroke and giving them preventive care. Advocating yoga and meditation. These are all fantastic therapies. This is what President Barack Obama wants to advocate. But there is a downside of what President Barack Obama is going to do. It's going to lead to long lines in America. Americans are very impatient. If they want a knee replacement tomorrow, they want it tomorrow. But when you create a system changing from a capitalistic system to a socialized form of medicine, this is a socialized form of medicine that Barack Obama is doing. It's encompassing 314 million people. They are going to stand in the same lines. America is not building new hospitals, remember. So they are going to stand in the same line that I am standing. Therefore, the natural outcome of that is lines are going to increase. So it will take longer time for a procedure, an elective procedure. That is, let me open the door to medical tourism now. Medical tourism must be understood. It is not a sporadic event. In India, I often get dejected when I hear some of my surgeons' friends saying, oh, we are part of medical tourism, and all you see is a rickshaw coming with an Arab or somebody coming from Africa. That is not medical tourism. For any kind of ongoing conduit of flow of patients and money in either direction, you have to establish a conduit. It has to become an industry. In MBA, I was taught sporadic events are not called industry. Medical tourism is not an industry in India. There are many Indian healthcare leaders who speak about it as an industry. But when you ask them, where is the conduit? They say, no, this was our last year's revenues from foreign patients. That is not an industry. Let me tell you how the concept of medical tourism came about in the whole world. In medieval times, Europeans would travel to Egypt. Egypt was considered where all the gods reside. It was there where Europeans from Greece, England, France, everybody went to Egypt because they went for natural healing. But if you think about it, it was one form of nomadic medical tourism. Going to another country of care is also medical tourism. But now with progression of time and expansion of healthcare systems all over the world, now people even cross over from Canada coming to United States. I live in Boston. Boston and Canadian border is only 4 hours. Baltimore is just across Niagara Falls. So Canadians, where socialized medicine is practiced, cross over into United States because they are not able to wait for or have the patients for care. They cross over. What is modern day medical tourism, which is what I want to elaborate upon? Modern day medical tourism is this: planes landing with a bucket of patients, traveling, a red carpet has to be offered to your patient. There could be helipads on some of the hospitals, and there will be a very large cash counter. That cash counter is going to start collecting billions of dollars. That is modern day medical tourism. And I'm going to show you some financial numbers. In Washington, we have a tracker. This is a tracker that tracks every American patient, movement of every American patient going outside America. Look at this tracker over here. Focus much on Asia. The light is too bright. I can't shine my pointer, but look at India. Excuse me. All right, I apologize. Look at the map of the world. All these arrows are showing you global movement of patients. The numbers are intentionally kept small, but these are in tens of thousands of patients. Look at the centralization of movements of the patient. It is all in the direction of Asia. Zoom in further, it is in the direction of India. Where are these patients leaving from? They're leaving from North America, they're leaving from Australia, and all of that, they are localizing in Asia. And I think this is the opportunity for India. If all of the world wants to come to India, we need to be prepared for that. Just like in every business, you need to be prepared for business. Like a Boy Scout, the word is be prepared. Is India really prepared for large scale of business to collect billions of dollars? The answer is in the negative. India is not ready because India still doesn't understand or get it. They don't see the magnitude of this opportunity, how big this opportunity is. This is what is happening now in America. Normally, you would go and stand for a movie and you would stand in line. Look, now Americans have to stand in line for care. 20 years ago, when I went to America, this phenomenon did not exist. There were no lines in America for access to our own world's #1 hospital, my hospital, Beth Israel Hospital, Mass General Hospital, the Mecca of medicine, the intellectual capital of the world, but no lines for healthcare. This is changing. This is changing. This may be bad for America, but as an Indian American, and you all who practice over here the trade of science, you should understand this is an opportunity. Remember, opportunities always come in windows. They never come as wide doors. They come as windows. This is that window of opportunity. Identify it, start getting prepared for it. But why should any new industry that happens, there has to be a compelling need in the marketplace. You cannot even start manufacturing a new shampoo in the market if there is no need for a new shampoo. Remember, you cannot just produce a product and expect it to succeed. There has to be a compelling need in the market. What is that need? This is the need. Aging population in the Western world. Now I am widening the horizon. I'm not only talking of United States, I'm talking about the entire developed world, which would be United States, all of Europe, Australia, and other countries. Aging population, rising cost of healthcare. American healthcare budget is in trillions of dollars. It is greater than the entire GDP and economy of several small developing countries. Only the healthcare budget. It's not the entire economy, only the healthcare budget. But still, the costs are rising. There is moderate healthcare coverage, as I showed you, underinsured or non-insured. Fortunately, in a wonderful country like our motherland, India, there have been technological advances. In my own Jaslok hospital, it offers everything that is offered in my Mass General Hospital in Boston. The #1 hospital in the world, #1 hospital in America, but Jaslok in Pedder Road can offer the same services. There may be some clinical disparity of availability of transplantation and other things, but every country evolves its economic policy, hospital policy, based on the local ecosystem and based on the need of the community and what you can support. You cannot just offer anything and everything. That is a fancy dress. That is a fashion parade. You have to be realistic in offering what you're going to be offering. But look what our President Barack Obama's healthcare reform is going to do. Sorry, this chair is in the way, but if you can look over there. Look at that graph over there. In spite of Barack Obama's aggressive healthcare policy, a policy designed to reduce the healthcare burden of United States, you can see that graph. It is still going up. Even President Barack Obama cannot control healthcare expenditure of the United States, which means this is again a window of opportunity for India. So even if President Barack Obama scripts a policy, senators in Washington and lawmakers and congressmen in Washington dictate that no patient should go to India, that cannot be controlled. Because look at this. The expenses are still going up. No matter how conservative the policy is, the expenses are still going up. Here is what my friend Keval Handa likes the most. He's a very data-centric person because he has been a Pfizer CEO, an American company. But when I showed Keval in preparation of this lecture yesterday, this is the slide that he liked the most. Keval talks about corporate social responsibility. But look here, this is pure dollars and cents. I'm showing you real money, money that you can touch, provided you're eligible, qualified to touch this money. Look at, this is data from Coopers and Deloitte, financial accounting companies of the world. They are the ones who do accounting for all the stock markets virtually of the whole world. Look at this. It was as small as 40 billion. Look at it now, touching 100 billion. There will be some contractions in the market because of recessions and other economic downturns in world markets, but it is still touching $100 billion. Can you imagine $100 billion, what it can do for the Indian economy? Pharma industry, total national and international finances are in 40 billion. This is 3 times more than the entire Indian pharma industry. Can you imagine the money that can come in? Can you imagine the amount of economic upliftment, usage for rural development, urbanization of rural India? All of this, which I firmly believe in, all this money can do that. And as you can see over here, there are beginning to be competitors for this money. This is a lot of money, serious money. And who are going to be the competitors? I'm going to show you very quickly. What is baby boomers in America? 77.3 million out of 314 million population are baby boomers. These are Americans who have retired. They don't have enough money. A lot of their money got wiped out in the Wall Street housing bubble. Where will these people go? They don't have enough money to afford to come to my hospital in Boston or in New York or in California. They will have to go for an economical destination. Economical destination in healthcare is defined as one where the expenses are lowered but the quality stays the same. That is very important. That is the balance in economicity of healthcare. You cannot provide underrated quality of healthcare and expect to compete with Americans. Not at all. Nobody will come here. I was in Singapore. I have come from China over here. Just last week, the hospitals in China are fantastic. Some of the surgeons I have trained in my own institution. I went to inaugurate one of his departments. Superb. But can China be a destination for medical tourism and draw this $100 billion? Answer is no. And the reason is lack of communication. Language is a serious barrier. India, all forms of education are in English. This is our power. This is our soft power. We should utilize it. We have not identified that. China may be ahead in manufacturing and every other form of economicity drivers, but not in healthcare yet. It will take 25 years. Look at Xi, the new Chinese premier. Look at his new policy. His new policy, English is going to be made mandatory. English is going to be mandatory. Hu Jintao, the previous president, also wanted to do that. But Deng Xiaoping, 20 years ago, who is the reformer of China, never had the English vision. He had the vision to draw American dollars, urbanize China, and increase the GDP of China. But he never thought about English. We are fortunate. Language is on our side. We have to capitalize on it. In America, this is AARP, which is American Associations of Retired People. This is all the people who will have to go abroad for treatment. They will not be able to support or afford American care. Important thing, what will be the product segments? In any form of business, you need to look at product segments. What are the product segments? If you're going to start a business, look at the product segments over here. One of the most important product segment is going to be my own specialty, cardiac surgery. Cardiac surgery is going to be one of the biggest specialty that is going to draw these big bucks. It's going to be neurosurgery, it is going to be gynec, orthopedic. Why are these the main drivers? These are the main drivers because these specialties offer the most elective procedures. Patients can travel long distance by plane, come and have a procedure, and then of course can have rehabilitation. There is an MTA also now established in America. Who are the big money makers in America? Many people think it is doctors like us. We are often classified as American millionaires. Up to some extent that may be true. But the real millionaires and the billionaires of healthcare economics in America are insurance companies. Insurance companies decide often by lobbying who is going to be the next president. Every American president since the independence of America following the Civil War has been elected on healthcare policy. How often does that happen in India? Have you ever heard an Indian politician putting up an agenda or a manifesto which talks about healthcare as his primary driver to be elected. No. In America, that is why some of you watch CNN, you will always find President Barack Obama or Mitt Romney or Dick Cheney all debating healthcare. Healthcare is the one single indicator for a developed nation. If India does not have a good healthcare system, you can put up as many glass buildings and beautiful airports. Until you have a good healthcare system, India will never qualify to be a developed country. It will still be called a developing country. There is a reason for that, is healthcare is supposed to be paramount. It is supposed to be the fundamental right of every born citizen, and that should become true for India. Look at insurance companies, what they are doing now. Obamacare is going to hurt insurance companies in America. It is going to reduce their bottom line. Their revenues are going to drop because of state-sponsored insurance plans. Insurance companies are in the business of only two things: to provide insurance, and second, to make money. Very simple. It is not a humanitarian organization. It is not an NGO. It is there to do business. But now what the insurance companies are doing, because the reservoir in America is drying up for them to collect the moolah, they are often catching the plane. I travel to India every 45 days. Every time I'm sitting in my seat, every fourth flight, I'm sitting beside an healthcare American insurance executive. We often, of course, conversation is always good after a few whiskeys. When the flight is 14 hours, we do have a few whiskeys, but it generates intelligent conversation. I often ask them, they talk to me about heart surgery and all of that. But on the plane, I'm reading books on economics. I'm not reading cardiac surgery. I have achieved peaks in cardiac surgery. I'm indexed in textbooks of cardiac surgery. I don't want to achieve any more in cardiac surgery. I'm more interested in economics. So now my books have changed. From cardiac surgery textbooks on a 14-hour flight, I'm reading economics. I'm reading all the great economists, whether it is David or Milton Frias or all of them, I'm reading. Now the insurance executive is asking me, "Doctor, you're a heart surgeon. Why are you reading economics? Don't you have anything better to do?" I says, "Yes, I have an interest in economics." When I give him my business card, he looks at it and says, "Oh, you also have an MBA." I said, "I'm the only heart surgeon who has an MBA." Now he's very interested in me. I'm an unusual character. I'm a funny character. But my question to him is, why are you catching this 14-hour United Airlines flight and going to India? What is an insurance executive of America doing in India? This is the answer. I'm not trying to show you two fruits. These are models that they are looking at now in insurance companies. United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, and all of that. My friend Manoj Agni, who has practiced in the United States, knows all these insurance companies. Very soon, insurance companies in America are going to offer them two plans. You can have plan A, which is the Apple, which is the current plan, which is what I have in my wallet, is that very high premium. But plan B, which did not exist before, is going to be offered for the first time to Americans. Plan B is a highly discounted insurance plan, but emergency service can be accessed in America. Elective procedure, you will have to go outside America. And I will tell you the reason why they are offering that. This is plan B. That is why they are coming to India for market research. You will find them going and meeting hospital CEOs. You will find them meeting with consulting agencies. You will find they see the money in India. They definitely see the money in India, and that is why these executives are coming to India. This is a slide where I'm going to, gravitate on some time. Look at the slide, look at the numbers. These are the numbers in America. Bypass surgery, 130,000 USD. Look at valve replacement, angioplasty, all those numbers in red are United States rate card. Extremely expensive. Now look at India, and I have also shown you two competitors. Look at Thailand, look at our Middle Eastern neighbor, Dubai. These are all customers who may go to our competitor countries. I'm showing you not to show you my statistical data. I want you to understand how to stay competitive in the marketplace. You have to stay competitive or you will lose. Look at the numbers. India can offer all procedures at 10% of United States. Now you know why the insurance executives are traveling 14-hour flights to India. They want to capitalize on this rate card. They are also going to Dubai. Remember, my own Harvard has a hospital in Dubai, American hospital in Dubai. John Hopkins has a hospital in Dubai, WellCare Hospital. They are all affiliated to American institutions. So they are traveling in the region. But if you look at the rate card of the region, this is the compelling economic power of Asia. If you remember the second slide to you, the Washington tracker, and as you could see, all patients gravitating to Asia. This is the reason all of them are gravitating to Asia, is the power of this rate card. India, fortunately, I'm affiliated to one of the best hospitals in India. India, fortunately, has world-class facilities. Gone are the days where India could not showcase its healthcare. Fortunately, India has the intellectual power and the healthcare talent, the best of surgeons. I consider every Indian cardiac surgeon as good as a cardiac surgeon in America. I dissuade people from coming to America for surgery. When I worked in England 15 years ago, we did surgery on so many VIPs. I don't want to mention any names. Plenty of them, they were all coming to England. Today, does any patient go to Sahar Airport for heart surgery? Very unlikely. Because India has now matched the Western world in results. Remember, healthcare is all about results. There has to be results. If you can showcase results, you will get the business. Many of the hospitals in India are Joint Commission International accredited. JCI, my hospital in Boston is JCI accredited. So you have to match American standards. It has to be the same. There is no apples and oranges in standards of care. It has to be apples and apples. Fortunately, India is able to match that. The operating rooms in India have hybrid ORs, the most modern form of operating rooms, which is a fusion of cardiac cath lab and an operating room. India has several of those, beginning to. This is my friend's hospital in Delhi, the Artemis Hospital. Look at the beauty of Artemis Hospital. But I'm not trying to show you a beautiful hospital. Look at this. The attraction is a world wonder. 1.5 hours from Artemis Hospital, you can visit the Taj Mahal. This is the fusion and the power of India, is to offer top quality health, also offer top quality tourism. This is the new definition of medical tourism, is to combine A and B. Look at how many industries it will spring up. Travel industry, food industry, hospitality industry. Here is local indigenous billions of dollars of economy upliftment that we can do. I'm not talking about the $100 billion revenue stream. I'm talking of local generation. We live in Hindu growth rate. 5% or under 5% is called Hindu growth rate. It is not considered world standard. It is considered substandard, 5%. If the target of the Planning Commission of India in Delhi is 8%, they will need to do newer things. They do not realize that that new thing is not software. That new thing is healthcare. Because healthcare is not only about health. It could spin up so many new industries, some of which that I just alluded to. Here is a photomicrograph of our competitor, Dubai. I go there also very often. This is Healthcare City, Dubai. Right in the middle of Healthcare City is a golf course. Why did a country like Dubai build a golf course? Never before did Dubai have a golf. This is to attract the Western customer. The Western customer, anybody with a big fat checkbook and who has money in his pocket, Dubai wants to attract that. This is the entire healthcare city. All these hospitals are affiliated to American hospitals. They have built that affiliation and alliances. Look at that guy sitting on Jumeirah Beach in Dubai. He's just had bypass surgery. I can still see his mid-sternotomy scar over here. Have you seen this picture in Dubai before? Never. Look at this blonde. This blonde is on Jumeirah Beach. Look at the cultural change. A burqa world like Dubai is now having blondes sitting on their beach. What is the driver of this? The driver is all got to do with the almighty dollar. Dubai Sheikh has changed everything. He's changing the ecosystem. You have to be practical people. Look at practical Dubai. It's changing its whole culture. Bikini girl on Jumeirah beach, unheard of before. I'm sure the sheikhs who are in their grave, they must be turning in their grave if they see this slide. But the current sheikh, I'm sure did an MBA like me. He understands money. Money is music to the ears. Remember, somebody who doesn't get it in business should not be in business. The Dubai sheikh gets it. India should begin getting it. But if patients are going to travel all over the world, will they carry suitcases of reports? ECG, X-rays, cardiograms, CT scans, all of that? No, that is also going to change. This is the product that is going to change the world of travel for the whole world of patients. It's a healthcare vault. A vault is where the patient's EMR or the medical records are right in a vault. So far in America, doctors controlled that vault. Doctor could control patient's records. That has changed. Patient will now control his or her own records. And that is why, with that electronic key, patient can travel all over the world. Patient could be operated at Just Loc. Patient could go back to California, unlock the door, and read the operative notes of the Just Loc surgeon. Don't show me. Thank you. Okay, so patients, this is all in development of creating an entire atmosphere and an ecosystem for patient to travel A to Z anywhere in the world. And that is going to be, Health Vault is going to be the solution for that. Here, important thing in business is customer value propositions. What do you offer your customer? You should be ready to offer. You should first of all make any service affordable. It must be affordable. It should be easily available. Most important, it should be easily accessible. Don't make anything for the patient difficult. Make it easily affordable, accessible. Don't have that upturned nose that I was trained in America, I will charge you American rate card. It will not happen. You are impressing nobody if you do that. Be a practical person like the Dubai Sheikh. Change the way you do business. And then you will, that is how you will stand at the cash register. My interest is that the Indian cash register must ring very loud. It must ring billions of dollars. Here is 5,000 patient data. When I did my MBA, I focused on India. I wanted to know if 5,000 patients in India were treated, what was the outcome? Remember, America is a very scientific community. That is why, you know, why the pharma company from India landed up in deep trouble with American lawmakers. They will not accept. Data, data, data. That is the proof of the pudding. The proof of the pudding is here in the data. And you can look over here, all data pointing in positive outcomes. They were happy to be treated in India. The results of their surgery was good. How was the interaction with the surgeon? Very good. Did the nurses take care of you? Superb. This is all. That is because Indians are emotional people. Indians carry emotion in healthcare. In America, there is no emotion in healthcare. It's a mechanical procedure. It's a mechanical procedure. Doctors are not respected. My feet are touched by all my patients when I'm traveling in India. Nobody touches our feet in England or America. They consider us as a plumber or an electrician, someone who is trained in a certain expertise, who provided a service. You were compensated for your service. Thank you very much. But the emotional touch is there in India. That is why the power of Indian healthcare is human care. India has human care, which nowhere else in the world is present. These are much more ratings of hospitals and all of that in India. More than 70%, as you can see, are all positive. But how will India showcase its talent and its services to the world? How will they come to know that Saifi Hospital has a good arthroscopy program, one of the best surgeons in the world, or a cardiac program? How will the world know? This is the vehicle that they will know. It's going to be the World Wide Web, social networking, using social channels. Using social channels. Gone are the days when you would have to mail brochures to America or England or Australia. No, it is this interconnected world. You have to utilize this to the maximum. Important thing, also to establish affiliations. These are soft affiliations, like Wokhart Hospital has with Harvard. My own Jaslok, I am the director of the program. I established it with Stanford. I run because I know the surgeons at Stanford. I know the decision makers of Stanford. So it is this affiliation of Indian hospital with American brand hospitals. That is what, because Americans will have faith when they see an American name or a logo attached to an Indian hospital. This is very important for American decision makers. Marketing is the key. Advertising is not the key. Don't waste your precious dollars and rupees and cents on advertising. Advertising is placing of a picture. Marketing is telling a story. Americans are very good at telling a story. Indians must learn to tell a story. That is what marketing is going to be and going to be the key. Americans are very legal-minded people. Suing is part of the culture. They will sue the doctor. They will sue the hospital. They will sue their own lawyer also if need be. In America, even lawyers get sued by their lawyer, but both of them have dinner together. So you don't really make enemies with the legal system. But if American patients are going to come to India, you need to have a good understanding of the legal framework. What will be the legal framework? Will it be American law? Will it be international law? I believe Indian healthcare must apply Indian laws. Indian laws in India, placing a cap. If there is litigation, place it at $1 million. You cannot get more than $1 million if there is a lawsuit. But in my data, not many of them are interested in lawsuit, but you have to have a legal framework. If all of this is done correctly, I think each one of you, if not each one of you, at least the smart in the audience will have to buy this printer. You all are going to print money. If you do it correctly, remember, you have to get it right. Like as a doctor, I can tell you, the pulse is over here. You could be searching the whole hand for the pulse. But if you anatomically don't know where the pulse is, you will miss it. Therefore, you need a clear understanding on this opportunity. Then you can go and buy this printer. You will print money, and the zeros will be very large denominations. How big is that number? $100 billion and exploding. As you can see this bag, it is going to explode beyond $100 billion. This is a rising wave. It could rise indefinitely because the costs of healthcare in the Western world is not going to decline. It is going to rise at all times. I often ask this question, Mukesh, many of you idolize you because of your unique qualification. But tell us a little bit, who is your idol? Who is your idol? For me, my idols are the one whose heart beats for India. Very simple. I don't care who the leaders in Delhi are. I truly don't care. I care only for the person whose heart beats for India. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, these are the people I think are true Indians. I think Rajiv Gandhi, regardless of his political affiliation and all of that, look, Rajiv Gandhi was an innocent Indian, one of probably the most honest Indian, innocent Indian. I love innocent people. I love doing business with innocent people. It is so transparent. It is so pulsatile. The other person, my own Harvard professor, Nobel laureate and a good friend of mine, Amartya Sen, just stays just 6 houses away from me. Amartya Sen. His heart beats for India. Just like me, he's an Indian American staying in Boston, just down the road. But he's constantly thinking about India, what he can do for India. He was given the Nobel Prize not for his thoughts about America, but for his thoughts about India. And of course, someone whom I met 1 month ago, another idol of mine, Sam Pitroda, the telecom czar of India. Every one of you is on the cell phone whole day. None of it would have become a reality if it wasn't for Sam Pitroda. He brought the telecom vision to India. He is the telecom czar of India. India needs a healthcare czar too. But for me, these are real Indians whose heart beats for India. Each one of you will have to do an introspection. Does my heart beat for India? Does my heart? And if the answer is yes, you will be one of these. This is what we all should chime for. We desire for. It's not, we never came in this world to collect a fleet of cars. We never came into this world to do thousands of operations and have a big fat balance. But how will we best be remembered? We will be remembered for our contribution. We have to leave our footprint on planet Earth. What better place to leave our footprint other than motherland India? You have to do something for your motherland India. So I have developed this very small vision. I'm a small economist, one of those rare ones though. My vision is for India. My vision is not for America. I'm American, but my heart beats for India. My vision for India is this. Urbanization of rural India. All the $100 billion that I'm showing you and lots of money, I'm really not interested in making the rich man richer. That is not my interest. My concept is to move healthcare from urban India close to rural India. Because if you take it to the periphery of urban India, you will provide semi-skilled employment to rural Indians. Healthcare will shift to the periphery over there. It will become much more economical. Gradually, communities will start developing. That will be the accelerated pace of urbanization of rural India. That is part of my vision. This is another vision of mine, womb-to-tomb concept. A womb-to-tomb concept also is very unique. Professor Amartya Sen likes it very much. What is it? It is very simple. When an Indian child is born, even in the remotest of village or in Breach Candy Hospital, just when the child is born, cover the child with an insurance cover. Offer it at 100 rupees. Make it so affordable that nobody can be denied cover. But as the child grows and gains employment, spike up the insurance and cover that insurance until the person retires or end of life. This way what will happen? The person becomes a contributor towards his own health. Why do you think TPA and patient is always fighting in India? That is because patients take insurance at 50 and get sick at 55. In MBA, I was taught very clear things is that for any industry to survive, it has to be profitable. If you don't make a profit, it will go in shutdown mode. That is why insurance companies are now. India has opened up a new foreign direct investment policy. Foreign direct investment, American insurance companies now will contribute into Indian insurance. They could be made equal partners into Indian insurance. Now Indian insurance companies will proliferate. Lot of stakeholders will make a lot of money in India. So this is the second part. As I come to closure of my lecture, let me remind you of one very important historical fact. Everything is looked upon in centuries. We all know we were ruled by the British. That was the colonial era, where British ruled the whole world. It was called the British century. Winston Churchill, British Prime Minister, one day very proudly said, "The sun will never set on the British Empire." Winston Churchill said this, "The sun will never set on the British Empire." Fortunately or unfortunately, Winston Churchill was rarely right. He was rarely right. although he was very fond of his voice. History will remind Winston Churchill, wherever he's resting in peace, this British Empire is no more. It was the British century. As I speak as an American, this is the American century. America is ruling the world. America is the leader of the free world. But economic turbulence is happening all over the world. Economic skeptics are asking, is the American century going to be a permanent one? And you all know the answer. A place that I was 6 days ago, and that is China. The rising power of China. A true economical power. This is not like an Indian Maharashtra politician saying India is shining, Mumbai is like Shanghai, all of that. That is all crap. That is all crap. I have been to Shanghai, I have been to many places, done surgery all over China. This is the next America. China is the next America. America will not be the next America. Every economic pundit has said that. I'm a close follower of economics. I'm a qualified economist. I know the balance sheet of the whole world. America is not going to be the next America. This is the reason why America has shifted all business to China. But now there is a fusion of two worlds. What in economic terms is called chimerica. C-H-I-M-E-R-I-C-A. There is a fusion of the economics of China and America, and that term is called China. But let me play devil's advocate. If China is going to be such a big economic power, remember, the future definition of superpower is not going to be the one who has the guns and the ships and the ammunition. Future power, superpower definition is changing. It's going to be one who has a positive balance sheet. There is going to be economic superpowers, not military superpowers. But important thing is, does India have a chance? I think India does. I think there is a problem with China. Regardless of the political situation and all of that, China made one bad policy in its entire history, and that is the single child policy. Single child policy. Very soon, by 2026, what is going to happen? China is going to have a grey population. Chinese are going to be retired smoking bidis in China. There is not going to be enough productive people in China. Now what happens to the Chinese economy? Will the wheels continue to turn? They are going to slow down. Where are they going to borrow people? That is where India comes in. India in that 2026 will have the youngest population, the youngest productive population in the world. And I think that is our chance. Maybe the whole world economists are predicting China is going to be the next economic superpower. Our job as Indians is to prove the world wrong. We can turn it around and make sure the world pundits are proven wrong and make India the economic superpower. All it will take is a little bit of discipline. Indians are not disciplined people, remember. Indians are not. Just a little. China beat everybody because of discipline. That is what India will have to do. How can I best end my lecture? All I can say, with all modesty and respect to each one of you, God bless my motherland, India, and every Indian with health, wealth, and prosperity. God bless my adopted land, the United States of America. Thank you.
Well, what to say? It was a scintillating oration. I don't know. These words just came to my mouth. But I guess we'll have to search the thesaurus and the dictionary for words. Well, one thing is very clear. You know, people have their own jargons. You know, people say, think global, act local, think local, act global, etc., etc. But I think today we have come across one of the most unparalleled presentations of what India is, can do, and how it's going to be tomorrow, when many in the audience will be ruling the country and not oldies like me who will be out. So, sir, wonderful, marvelous, falling short of words again.
Thank you.
And it ended on a very positive note as to what's going to happen 10, 15 years down the line. And yes, yes. So feel free to ask questions, share your thoughts, comments, all yours.
Actually, I am very thankful to Dr. Mukesh Hariawala, who has specially flown from Boston to here. Although he's a celebrity cardiac surgeon who operated Prime Minister Manmohan Singh in the first, actually, with John there in the UK. Also, he's operated some of the lot of celebrities here. He comes here once or twice, maybe in a year, or he flies down. I'm really thankful that you have shared this wonderful platform with us. And I wish him all his best in his future endeavors. I also am given to understand that he's on the verge of a breakthrough research, which is not revealing to me. As a journalist, I try to push it from him, but he's not telling what he's doing it. But in the next 2-3 months, hopefully we'll see some new things coming from him, which might become headlines to others, actually. Thank you, Dr. Mukesh, for setting the dice. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, now we move into the next session, which is going to be full of debates and discussion. Coming in the first edition is about healthcare, then we'll move into medical, then into the Mumbai debate. I heard people speaking about this, how Mumbai can be compared with London and Shanghai, but we're going to witness some of the most finest moments here now. And at 7:30, you have this Indian Affairs Business Leadership Awards. We'll be joined by Javed Akhtar, Manish Malhotra, Priyanka Chopra, and Mr. Ratan Tata and others. They'll also be coming. It's going to be a full of house here now. So coming up next is a healthcare debate. As you know, Indian healthcare industry is passing through a very transformational stage where we find that a pharmaceutical industry is unable to compete with others because of the faulty laws of the government. And various pharma companies, in fact, are burning their mid oils to find the right business strategy how to make their presence felt. We have seen recently a lot of pharma companies are also suffering because of the patents and because of the various issues. The biggest disadvantage that is doing for the pharma industry is about the pricing formulations, which is really a stumbling block. None of the pharma companies are happy about it, but many are not coming forward. I actually blame Organization of Pharmaceutical Producers of India, IDMA, and other association who are just having a coffee, drinking there and not raising this platform. When they go to the ministers and all, they mix all of them, but they don't raise these issues. This is really same for us, but hopefully in this healthcare debate, we'll throw some new light. May I have the pleasure of calling Mr. Keval Handa, former Managing Director of Pfizer Limited, one of the strong voice of the pharmaceutical industry and present